Hey everyone. I got asked a question by a patient the other day, and it was basically this. Should I get adjusted or should I just do stretching or soft tissue techniques to fix it? I've heard of a doctor in another area here that he just stretches things in, which works best. So I thought I'd answer that question for you today. Hi, I'm Dr. John Gray, and we're going to talk about what's the best way to fix a joint problem, specifically in your back or neck. So the first thing to understand is that there's 3 steps to any time we fix a joint, and that's getting joint play. In other words, if you can think of a truck that's stuck, you have to get it unstuck. If you're trying to line up a door and fit it within a frame, you have to bring the frame to the parameters of the size of that door so that you can tie everything together. And that's basically what joint play is. It's putting everything in its proper position so that you can work with it. The next thing is, and that's what the chiropractic adjustment does, by the way. The next part is the balancing the supporting tissue. In our example here, if you're going to take that door frame and you're going to tie it in, then you're going to take different screws or glues or different things to hold that frame in place as much as possible. And that would be the balancing the tissue part. And that's a lot what happens with soft tissue techniques, which we also do here. So those soft tissue techniques, if you think about it with time, sometimes you'll see a door frame or where you even put the latch, you know, how that handle part gets a little sucked in or a little out, it gets in the way so you can't shut the door. And so you have to kind of move things a little bit, shim them, help that. The main frame is there, but you have to kind of help fit things into it. So in this example here, you'll see this will be a normal range of motion in the joint. These red lines here are connective tissue. That's the soft tissue part of the equation. And then the green tissue here is the tissue that grows in, that holds the tissue there. It's non-contractile. It doesn't make you don't have to work on it to make it move. That's the tissue you work with in the adjustment. And the red tissue is what you work with the soft tissue technique. So you need them both. So what I'd have to do to get the red tissue to work with me well is I'd have to adjust those areas until they were in the best position they could be in for you. And then after that occurs, there's going to be tissue that's used to not letting you go that far on one side. That's the tight tissue. That's the stuff we have to use exercise and stretch for. And on the other side, there's going to be tissue that's been lazy, letting you sit in that position. And that's the stuff we have to strengthen. So the first thing to do is get the joint moving to the best that it can. And then what we do is we work with the supporting tissue. So first phase is joint play. Second phase is balancing the support tissue. And the third phase is stabilizing it. And stabilizing it is making sure the joint stays in place long enough, kind of like the retainer in your teeth. Once they get those teeth to where they want them to go, things still have a tendency to move, and you still have to have tissue grow in to support those teeth. There's also another factor where things change in size and they just generally stay dynamic. That's why they started leaving retainers in longer. But you want to leave that retainer in or stabilize it so that that tissue here, or this contractile tissue, can grow in. Now, so the 3 steps: joint play, balancing the tissue, and stabilizing. Adjustment, exercises or soft tissue techniques, myofascial type work, art, and then stabilizing is the third part. That's a matter of keeping something in the right position over time. And that's the true way that you heal it. You'll hear people always kind of take one thing because that might be all they do, and they highlight that as that being the guru way of doing it. But there's a tried and true method, and it shows in all the peer research. It's usually a combination. It's always a combination of adjusting, exercise, and soft tissue technique, and then keeping that area in its proper position or practicing good form posture over a period of time. That'll get you your best results always. So I hope that helped answer the question that was given me this week. And I know that you guys get this a lot of times in different advertising, but if you have any other questions, feel free to send them in. And until then, have a great week.